focus still on the Opposition National Democratic Congress, because this week the party has been plunged into a crisis. Its members in Parliament are split over who should lead them in the House after the party leadership changed. Haruna Idrisu-led team and brought on board Kaisel Atuforsen as the new leader. This has sparked some level of controversy and confusion within the party. There's work underway to resolve the confusion. But today we speak to a member of the National Executive Committee of the party on what considerations are at play before the reshuffle. Victor Kutor joins us for a conversation. Before that, here is how things actually panned out yesterday within the National Democratic Congress.
As far as we are concerned, the current leaders of the House, Honorable Haruna Idrisu and co, are deemed to still be in office.
Former Majority Leader Cletus Avocade announcing the resolve of he and some 69 other colleagues to continuously recognize ousted Haruna Idrisu as the minorities leader in Parliament. This is despite the party announcing Kaisel Atuforsen as the new minority leader. The group says the party has acted unlawfully in the change of leadership. Early on Thursday, the new minority leader, Dr. Atuforsen, held a news conference at which he pledged to unite the party.
I have held fruitful and positive conversation, in fact, frank conversation, with my senior brother, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu. I commended him for his admirable leadership and stewardship when he was granted the opportunity by a great party to lead us. Our first responsibility is to unite the caucus, and that will be number one on the agenda. Things of this nature happens, but obviously there's the need for us to show leadership, and we will do just that.
He followed this up with a meeting with the NDC's national leadership with his colleagues who make up the new leadership. Ousted Chief Whip Muntaka Mubarak says they only want due process to be followed.
We are equally concerned that the letters that were issued were not the decision of the party. Our party as NDC has about 4 decision-making group structures. First, the Congress, where all delegates meet to take decision. Second is the National Executive Committee, that's NEC. And then third is the Functional Executive Committee. It is when this group take decision, then you get the General Secretary and the principal officers implement. Then we also have the Council of Elders, even though our constitution says that they are advisory. Sometimes, periodically, they also give directions and then the party tries to implement. We are firm, because I serve as on FEC, I serve on NEC, I go to Council of Elders as an observer, and I also on the political committee as an observer. Congress, all of us as members of Parliament are members of Congress. And the minority leader is also on all these levels. At no such meeting was there any agenda to discuss this. So it is clear that it is a letter, yes, written by the General Secretary, but the decision may be just the decision of some few people in the party. And we believe that our party should sit up.
The new leadership also paid a courtesy call on Speaker Alban Bagbin. Here is Deputy Minority Leader Emmanuel Amakufi-Boa.
It's wise counsel, so we are very encouraged by it, and we've thanked him for that. You know, our priority right now is to make sure that we unite our caucus. That's our number one priority, and that is so important to us. Of course, you cannot lead when your crowd, your people are not united, and that's our singular focus, and we are confident we will do that.
From the look of things, this deep crack in the NDC will fester for a while, even as party leadership try to calm the waters in the background. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante.
Well, so that's how event unfolded within the NDC in the last 24 hours. Victor Kutor is a leading member of the NDC for that matter. He's joining us in studio for a conversation on this. Victor, welcome to the polls. Of course, I met you the day some of these changes were made in your party, and well, you were hopeful that your party would be able to brace all odds and try as much as possible to get things working. But you've seen the level of discord and disunity is beginning to breed within your party. I mean, first, let me pick up your thoughts on the level of division that we're beginning to see just because of these changes that were made.
Yeah, thank you very much. First and foremost, let me say good afternoon to our viewers. I must say that we need to put all this discussion in proper context. There are facts that under this Fourth Republic, since 1992, no party has done reshuffle in respect of minority.
We've never seen that
It has never happened.
Yes, that's true.
We need to state the facts. So it is naturally that shock is expected. And because it is novel, there's no clear-cut guidelines to do same. If you look at the NDC constitution, it has different wings and organs. We have the youth wing, the women's wing, the parliamentary group is also a wing under the party's constitution. And recently, at the just ended Congress, we amended and then added pro forum. Now, all these organs or groups or wings
within your party,
yes, have methods of electing its leaders. So, for example, the youth wing, all the various constituency youth organizers will meet and elect their leader. The women's wing, same. The constituency women organizers, regional women organizers will meet and elect their leaders. However, in respect of the parliamentary group, there is no clear-cut guideline in the constitution. And what makes it more interesting is that this is not a fresh appointment. It is reshuffle. And I'm happy that day you were at the party office. You spoke to the national chairman. He said something to you which is very key. He said the mode of consultation when it comes to fresh appointment cannot be the same when it comes to what? Substitution or reshuffling. Some have likened it to the Blasters. Anytime the national team is getting ready for the World Cup, there's a broader consultation. So, for example, you have even GFA going to meet the parents of some of the players to convince some of them to switch nationality. Sometimes going to convince them that there's no spiritual things in camp, they should come and join the Black Stars. Sometimes they even provide what they call the provisional list before finally it's thrown down to the final 23-man squad. However, when we get to the tournament and the coach wants to do reshuffle, or what in football terms they will say substitution, I'm not sure GFA president or the coach will leave the park and go and meet their parents. There and there are some consultation.
So some immediate changes will be made. That's what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
From within.
Exactly. But the consultation for the reshuffling or substitution on the pitch is not as broader as the initial call-up or the initial appointment. That is one. Two, I would not want to say there are divisions in the NDC. I'm looking at it from a different angle. The tolerance level. I mean, this is democracy. And this is a democratic party. It's a National Democratic Congress. So at the heart of the party is democracy. And what is democracy?
But that's the more reason why many were expecting that you would engage.
That is what the national chairman have said. At this point, my personal opinion doesn't matter. It is with the party leadership.
Yeah, but you took that decision. You took that decision at your NEC meeting. And that's another thing generating the controversy. Even the MPs that we have, they're telling us that from reliable sources, this was just like a Fifi Kwete, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, and a few other national executives meeting and taking a decision without even involving some of these MPs who are representatives on the National Executive Committee of the party.
Yeah, respectfully, some of us are limited because of the oath. We saw the oath of secrecy.
That you have.
So I'm unable to divulge some things that transpired at NEC. Some have said that, we had resolved that we should postpone appointment until such a time that the primaries is over and all of that. I was also part of that meeting. But because of the oath of secrecy, I'm not going to discuss NEC meetings here. The minutes.
No, but at least you are in a position to confirm or deny. They've gone public
but
on
what
that.
I'm saying is to support what the national chairman said, that the mode of consultation cannot be the same. The mode of consultation in respect of the reshuffling cannot be the same when it comes to what? To fresh appointment. In any case, how were the outgone leaders appointed in 2017? How were they reappointed in 2021? They were even different. In 2021, they were asked a simple question. Do you have a problem with the current leaders? Do you want them to continue? A majority said yes. That is a form of consultation. In 2017, how was it done? It's not the same as 2021. Even for fresh appointment, the mode of consultation varied. And I'm happy the national chairman also said something. I want us to avert our mind to. He said the reshuffle is not a judgment on their performance. Not at all. And that is why I wouldn't want us to reduce this whole discussion to the personalities involved. Honorable Haruna Idrisu is a great personality. And if you know him very, very well, you get to know that he will even support the new leadership. He's a very humble person.
Well, at least he's not made that public. He's not told us that he will support the new leadership. But he's been silent for a long time. The last conversation I had with Johnson Asiru Nketia, he indicated that you were sending some influential persons within the NDC or some of your party elders to engage the outgoing leadership. And yet, Muntaka held a press conference yesterday stating what his position was. And it was clear from that point that he was not happy. Nothing was done. No engagements were done.
Yeah, like I indicated earlier, there's some shock in the system. Because under the Fourth Republic, this has never happened before. And once we get to understand this, we will be able to appreciate all the happenings. You see, Honorable Muntaka, for example, in football matches, sometimes you can substitute Messi. The best player, you can substitute Messi. It doesn't mean Messi is not doing well, but for all you know, there's a higher responsibility that is being reserved for. Or he doesn't want to be, the coach doesn't want the players to be injured ahead of the next match. So there are reasons why some of these things are done. What if tomorrow, Leadership Council and say, Honorable Muntaka will be the campaign manager for the party? That is an elevation. It's even beyond just the parliamentary group. If the party leadership comes again and says tomorrow, Honorable Muntaka is the campaign manager for the entire campaign nationwide, that would be an elevation.
But would that be a prudent appointment?
No.
We're just assuming, by the way.
Exactly. So I'm just saying that. So that is why we don't have to be making conclusions and all of that. And I'm surprised that some people are saying, oh, because of this NDC is not united and all of that. It is because of these fears. That's why the president cannot even reshuffle his cabinet. And we all know, look at the economy now. At the time they took office, the public debt was 120 billion. As we speak now, the public debt is over 500 billion Ghana cedis. And I'm not the one saying this, it's World Bank. Yeah. They've added 380.
But it's your business now because you're facing the division and cracks. That's his government. He decides how he wants to make the changes. But your party is under siege right now. Nobody's intervening. Nobody's able to calm nerves within the party.
Before the Tuesday meetings,
okay,
these things, we'll not be discussing that.
Are you sure about that?
We will all be discussing the debt exchange program and all of that. And there's been some narrative out there that, the focus has been on government poor performance, and now
you've shifted that.
We've shifted that. Look, in any case, the party through the General Secretary has come up with guidelines for presidential and parliamentary primaries. We all know that by May, former President John Dramani Mahama will be elected as our candidate, our flag bearer.
Yes, well, that's your opinion, by the way.
Thank you. Yes, sir. The processes will unfold. The various constituencies, and I know how widespread joining you are. You'll be moving to Ashama, Takrady, Temale, all the constituencies. There will be issues. So naturally, within the next month, the focus will be on the NDC in terms of political activism, because we've opened nomination from 24th, thereabout February. Persons will be picking form, they'll be vetting, disqualification, appeals, campaigning. So they'll focus on the NDC. But by May ending, all this will be over and we will be ready for 2024.
And that's why your MPs say, and that's why your MPs are telling us that you may lose the next election if you don't listen to them, because they've written a petition to some of the influential figures within the NDC.
You see, I wouldn't want to discredit any senior member of the party. I believe in respect of elderly. However, history doesn't support some of the assertions.
Okay.
Look, in 2016, I'm not doing comparison, but let's stick with facts. In 2016, the MPP suspended their national chairman. The MPP suspended their general secretary. We, in terms of the disagreement that we've had, ours is more liberal, just trying to talk it out and all of that. But in 2016, MPP, they poured acid
Well, I mean, I wouldn't allow you to continue on that point because these are matters that the court is yet to fully decide on. So we're not connecting the cases. We're not connecting the cases. But yeah, precisely. And that's why I wouldn't want us to go there. So I am interested in what's happening now and the fact that the MP say, listen to us. We are members of parliament. You can't choose a leader for us without consulting us.
Yes. Again, you see, the consultative process cannot be holistic. And there's no political decision that is acceptable by all. It's not possible. Even when we even talk about performance, in 2016, look at the performance of the NDC. And look at 2020. The party had improved in terms of
your votes.
Yes, and even in terms of parliamentary seats. However, when we went to the National Congress, the delegates decided to change the chairman. In spite of all these good fortunes, the delegates, the wise delegate, the strategic NDC delegates decided that no, we need a new chairman. So sometimes it's not about performance, it's about strategy. And I'm happy you had engaged the national chairman. The national chairman has said the next election is about the economy. And Dr. Atuforsan, until his elevation, was our ranking member at the Finance Committee. If we are using the Westminster Parliament, as in the United Kingdom, he would have been the shadow finance minister. So if you have such a person leading the battle as a minority leader, what is wrong? Some have said that they don't have any problem with that, but it's the processes. There is no clear-cut process. Which law? If you say something is unlawful, you ought to provide the law that is being infringed. Which law? Which part of the NDC constitution or parliamentary or standing orders, which law are they referring to?
Roxanne Nelson Dafiamakbo was indicating earlier on this platform that try and create a modality now that this issue has come up, try and create that modality that will influence policy decision or measures that you'll be taking in the future. Because if you don't do that now, you will not be able to cure that mischief. It may recur in the party again.
That is a solid advice, and we should not even restrict it to just the party. I think civil society should even be interested in this. You know why? It is possible that one day, just as we have a hung parliament now, one day we'll have a hung minority where two political parties, let's say CPP and let's say the MPP, in the next election will have equal seats.
Yeah,
now,
that could happen.
Yes. If you have a hung minority, how would they get their minority leader?
Yeah.
So then one political party cannot come out and say this is our leader. And one caucus, in terms of the party, in parliament, cannot come and say this is the minority leader. Both parties, MPP and CPP, hopefully in 2025, will be forming the minority. These two political parties, how do they come out with the minority leader? And this is a constitutional matter. So it's not about the NDC. It's a gray area that we need to look at. So I support the idea by Honorable Nelson Dafiamakbo.
Okay. Yeah. I'm interested in the next steps for the current crop of leadership for the NDC. What steps will you be taking to unite your front? Kesela Atuforsan says he's on that mission. He's met the Speaker of Parliament, met the executives yesterday. And we're just wondering what steps you'll be taking amongst yourself as party proper leaders to try and unite the front. What's the next move for you?
In politics, sometimes you conceal your intentions. The only thing I will tell you is that, look, by Tuesday, all this thing will be history. By Tuesday.
But saying that is not enough, is it?
We know what has started happening behind the scenes. Look, by Tuesday, we will be discussing the debt exchange program. We'll be discussing the failed one district, one factory. We'll be discussing the failed one village, one dam, and all of that. By the grace of God, I went to a national election. I went around this country. I have not seen any dam anywhere. I don't know whether your hometown, Anyako, I don't know whether you've seen the I don't know whether you've seen the dam over there. So from next week, this will be the center of the discussion. I can assure you that, we cannot bring all the strategies out. Some are behind the scenes. And I can assure you by Tuesday, all these things will be history. By Tuesday.
What do you intend to do with the petition that's before you now as national executives?
Yeah, the petition is before the Council of Elders. And I wouldn't speak much. Once the petition is before them, the petition is not before me, it's not before NEC, of which I'm a member. I can assure you that our Council of Elders have a way of handling some of these issues. And I can also say that the consultation that was done took views from the key organs of the party. And I can see that the decision by the leadership will not be reversed. It will not be reversed. However, there will be unity going into the next election. And I must say, people have referred to some scenes from some sections of the northern region as evidence that the party is not united. I've asked them, have they also seen the excitement from, let's say, Western region, for example, the rank and file? Voter region have also issued a statement, their rank and file. Have they also looked at that? And our very beautiful and hardworking party colleagues from the northern part are not fighting anyone. They are just expressing their disappointment, which is allowed in a democracy. Because if you look at the hard work of Honorable Haruna Iddrisu, it is natural that his own base will not be happy. Just as when President does reshuffle and all of that. You see, the reason I'm saying that this is the first time this has happened under the Fourth Republic is because we have done reshuffle before, but in my majority. You don't feel that because when the majority leader is taken, for example, when Honorable Gbagbagbe was taken as a majority leader, he was sent as a cabinet minister. So the reaction was minimal. But because we're in opposition, people see it as a demotion. But for all you know, he's being reserved for a higher duty. He's being reserved for a higher duty.
Haruna Iddrisu is being reserved for a higher calling.
Yes, possibly.
Possibly, or you know that for a fact?
I'm not in a position to discuss future appointments. Okay. But you see, for all those making these criticisms, that, oh, this, that, what if tomorrow Honorable Haruna Iddrisu becomes leader of the party in terms of leading this country?
Oh, okay. So he's your next flag bearer?
No, I've not said that.
Okay,
I've already said
I just wanted to be sure on that.
Told you our next flag bearer is the former president, John Dramani Mahama. And I can even tell you, if you look at the budget statement, the 2023 budget statement, and if you look at the debt exchange program that have been announced, it tells that the MPP have even endorsed the former president. Because there's the essence of the debt exchange program that you were discussing a while ago is that repayment will start from 2025 thereabouts. The MPP knows very well that from 2025, the former president, looking at his track record, he will be the next president of Ghana from 2025, and he will be in the position to pay the individual bond holders. Government that have borrowed are saying that they cannot pay, but 2025, they will start paying. When they know very well that from 2025, they will be in opposition, and former President Mahama will be president of Ghana. Okay.
Well, your party will be going through the primaries. We don't know what the outcome will be. We wait for that. Your final words to the grassroots of the party. I mean, those who are anxious. I'm sure that you've even seen the pictures from the north. Some from Tamale South who are saying, don't step there. In fact, they're warning you, the national executives, not to step there. What message do you have for these members of the party?
Yeah, before even the message, you see, there are a lot of misinformation out there. Some even said our Deputy General Secretary, Honorable Foyo Bande, has been beaten in the north in Tamale. Yeah, it's not true. Yesterday I had a chat with him. He explained what happened. He released a statement that nothing, the people engaged him, wanted to find out what had happened at the head office, but there was no attack on our Deputy General Secretary in the northern region. And I've just told you that our base in Tamale South, they are strategic people. And you see, what had happened has been put fear in the MPP. So if they plan of rigging any election, they've seen how wild our people are. Even if internally there could be this sense of agitation, sense of readiness, then how about the other party facing us? So just to tell our viewers that they should remain calm. Leadership has spoken. The least we can do is to rally behind leadership. We have gone to elect our leaders at the program, Congress at the Accra Sports Stadium. Having elected our leaders, we cannot want to lead them. We elected them for them to lead us. So one leadership has come out with a decision. Let's support. My personal view, as I indicated earlier, doesn't matter here. It is the principle of collective responsibility. Once the party has decided, let us all come together. And I'm happy that key regions, those swing regions, Central, Western, they are all coming on board to support the party. And we know that you cannot win any election in this country without those swing regions. So it's good that the party has looked at all these things and we are coming together. And again, the substitution or the reshuffle is not based, as the chairman said, it's not a judgment on the performance of the outgone leaders, because they may be doing a higher duty going forward. Thank you.
All right. And that's Wonder Victor Kutor, is a member of the National Executive Committee for the NDC. You're still with us here on The Pulse. Well, there's a lot more to discuss coming your way, including how some people lost their lives after purchasing food on the street. We'll tell you about that story shortly.